A year ago, Abby Anderson had everything going for her. A celebrated professional athlete, she was on the verge of national recognition. She'd spent years building her career with discipline and sacrifice. Off the field, her personal life was just as stable. She had been with her fiancé Ben since high school. Their future felt set in stone: marriage, a family, maybe even a coaching role after retirement. Everything made sense until it didn't. One wrong step during a match changed everything. A devastating injury ended her athletic career overnight. As she struggled through physical therapy and adjusted to the idea of never returning to the sport she loved, life dealt her another blow. Ben had been cheating on her. The news came just weeks after her injury. There was no confrontation, just cold, quiet devastation. The man she had trusted the most was gone, and so was the future she'd planned so carefully. With nowhere else to go, Abby returned to her hometown of Huntington. She moved in with her mother temporarily, spending her days in painful therapy sessions and her nights lying awake, haunted by what could have been. The familiar streets didn't offer much comfort. They only reminded her of the life that had unraveled. One late afternoon, after a long rehab session, Abby passed a small cafe downtown and paused when she noticed someone sitting alone at a table. Angela Rawlings, Ben's mother, was stirring a coffee, her gaze lost in thought. Abby hadn't seen her since the breakup. A surge of uncertainty gripped her. She considered walking away, but before she could, Angela looked up and smiled warmly. "Hi, Abby. It's been a while." Caught off guard, Abby stopped. "Angela, I didn't expect to see you here. Care to join me?" Angela gestured to the empty chair across from her. There was a pause. For a moment, Abby wondered if seeing Angela meant stepping back into Ben's world. But the invitation was simple, the smile genuine. She nodded and sat down. "I heard about your injury," Angela said gently. "I'm so sorry. It must have been hard." Abby looked away, the words tugging at something raw inside her. "Yeah, it felt like losing everything all at once. My career, Ben, the future I was working toward." Angela's eyes softened. "I understand more than you think. I just stepped down from my company last month. I spent years building something, and in the end, I lost sight of what mattered. Coming back here, it's forced me to face a lot of things." It was the first time Abby had seen Angela like this, not as a sharp, composed executive, but as a woman quietly unraveling too. They sat in silence for a while, the air heavy but not uncomfortable. "I guess we're both trying to figure out what comes next," Abby said softly. Angela gave a small nod. "Maybe we don't have to do it alone." Before Abby could respond, Angela added, "I bought that old cabin up on the hill. Just needed a place to think. I was planning to head up there this weekend. Would you want to join me?" It was unexpected, but the offer felt oddly right. Abby didn't overthink it. "Yeah, I'd like that." 2 days later, Abby drove up the winding road and parked in front of the weathered but cozy cabin. Angela greeted her with a hug, and they fell into an easy rhythm. The weekend passed slowly, marked by long walks through the trees, cooking simple meals together, and conversations that dug deeper than either of them expected. They talked about regret and reinvention. Angela spoke of missed chances, of burying herself in work to avoid emotion. Abby shared stories from the locker room, how she used to find purpose in training, and how hollow everything felt now. One evening, they sat in front of the fireplace, wrapped in blankets, the quiet crackle of the flames filling the room. Abby leaned her head back, her eyes closing for a moment. For the first time in months, she felt a fragile kind of peace. "I've always admired your courage," Angela said suddenly. "Coming back, facing everything. You didn't run away." Abby looked at her. "Maybe, but I don't know if I'm strong. I'm just trying to keep moving." Angela smiled gently. "That's strength, too." They sat closer now, sharing the same blanket. The warmth from the fire paled in comparison to the quiet understanding growing between them. As their eyes met, something passed between them, gentle, honest, and unforced. Abby didn't pull away when Angela leaned in. Their kiss was soft, careful, as though neither wanted to break the spell of the moment. It wasn't planned. It wasn't even something they could explain. But in the silence of the cabin, it made sense. Two women, both scarred, both searching, had found something unexpected, a beginning neither of them saw coming. In that cabin on the hill, far from the past and its wreckage, Abby and Angela allowed themselves a rare gift, the chance to rebuild. Not just alone, but together.